From the big picture onto the micro, Blue Dart is in the spotlight, and that's post its third quarter earnings. Let's pull up the stock and see how it's gaining in trade. It's holding on to a gain of 3.69% right now. That's Blue Dart for you, 211 rupee gain in trade today. The profit number for the company in the third quarter, and this came through last week, but we're going to have a chance to talk to the management in a couple of minutes. The profit number shows a move up of 84% plus year on year. The total income is up nearly 11% year on year, but it's the EBITDA where all the excitement is about. It's coming at 89 crore rupees versus 48 crore rupees in the third quarter a year ago. You know, the trend that's coming through from Blue Dart is that a major chunk of revenues is driven by the B2C segment, and there's strong growth in the e-commerce segment, with it now contributing about 25% of total revenues. And coming back to the margins, the EBITDA margins maintained above 13% by Blue Dart in the third quarter, certainly piquing investor interest. Yogesh Dhingra, CFO and CEO, Chief Operating Officer at Blue Dart, joins us on the phone line from Mumbai. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on NDTV Profit. Three things stand out in the third quarter: the volume growth, the margin sustainability, and of course, we have to factor in the festive advantage in Q3. But from a management perspective, what stands out for you?
I think from a management perspective, as you have also mentioned, the festival did play a role in terms of good volume growth in quarter three. Apart from that, we have been working in terms of good product mix. That also happened. And scale also really helped in terms of more efficient in terms of the cost structures. These are the three or four things which really helped us to, get a good EBIT margin and demonstrate a good profit growth. But one need to also factor that comparative analysis of previous year, quarter three of 2014, had some abnormal write-offs and so some abnormal expenses.
Right.
But one need to really see that even if one discount that, still there will be a reasonable growth on profit.
Okay, you talked about, keeping a firm check on costs. How much of a role did route optimization play in keeping a firm check on costs?
Well, there are a number of reasons. So I think the majority, I would say, the gains are from the load and product mix. Cost would have also helped to the extent of about 20%.
Okay,
out of the total gain what we would have got, majority have come from product mix and volume.
Okay, fair enough. I want to talk about the e-tailing opportunity, and I'm sure you've patiently answered questions before mine on this. But, one can see visibly that it is becoming a larger share of revenue. Comment on the outlook there?
Well, it has been increasing over the years. So, as you mentioned, 25%, but this quarter I think it was a little more. So it was 26.5%, which really supported in terms of revenue growth. And this particular B2C e-com contribution going forward will keep increasing.
And you're saying this despite the fact that there seems to be a lot of fresh investment by many players in the field into e-commerce logistics. You reckon that for Blue Dart this will continue to grow?
Well, you see, Blue Dart has a very, very good, strong infrastructure, and we have very good technology solutions. Yes, there have been niche players, there have been some own in-house logistics team, but I guess we will keep investing and keep progressing. So I'm sure there is ample market for all, there is ample growth available.
Fair enough. What about the margin picture? I mean, in Q4, in the new fiscal, will we see the same margin trajectory?
If you see last 3 quarters, our margin has been more or less in the same range. So I guess if we are fighting a battle, and I'm sure attempts would be made to at least maintain and keep improving further. So that is always there. One need to keep improving what you currently have.
I'm taking a slightly crisscross approach here, but I did want to get an update from you on, an e-fulfillment center. And if my memory serves me right, we spoke when that was operationalized. Can you give us any update on that?
See, EFC, we have already invested one in Gurgaon and the second one in Bangalore. To the overall pie, EFC business has just started. I think this again has a good potential going forward. So specific to this quarter, I don't think it was that significant to talk about. But going forward, over the next few years, certainly EFC segment will become an important and significant portion.
For Q4 and the quarters ahead, Mr. Dhingra, what are you going to be acknowledging as the biggest challenge?
I think again, at the end of the day, it's the volume growth. So B2C e-com is growing, but B2B normal because our economic growth is under pressure. I think we want that to move up. So, from a 7.2, 7.3 range, if it goes to 8% plus, certainly that will boost the B2B part as well. And then both the businesses doing good, will be a excellent scenario for the company.
Since we're just a fortnight away from the budget, is there anything specifically this budget could deliver which will benefit your sector in general and Blue Dart in particular?
Well, we are looking forward to a lot of initiatives where people could get into the investment mode. I think our country needs a lot of infrastructure investment, both from the government side as well as from the private sector. Once that investment phase starts, we generally see that a lot of movement happens. So that will be good for the logistics business.
Yogesh Dhingra, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining us this afternoon on NDTV Profit. As we're speaking, stock gaining up nearly 4% at last check. That's Blue Dart, and we were speaking to the CFO and Chief Operating Officer at the company. Now on to CEAT, and yes, this is an earnings review as well. The tyre manufacturer, the stock is having a decent session in trade today. It's up 5.12%, and the earnings showed that the profit grew 26.99%.